me. This my time to get it.
God taught me. When they ask me how I did it, I say God taught me. When they ask me how I'm winning, I say God taught me. When they ask me why I'm different, I say God taught me. This my time to get it. God taught me. See me on the way when I walk like this, sauce like this. I'm a boss, I guess. God knows I'm blessed. Go to the bank and I cash that check. Guess what's next? I'll be the best. Don't get confused, I'm reliable. That's cause I always produce. God chose me, so I don't have to choose. I can live out my dream. Must be the shoes. You don't want to offend anybody, so you tiptoe. You so focused on your balance like you're a flamingo. Enjoy your day off. I don't get those. You thought you could slow me down. Well, I don't think so.
Speak, don't fly straight. If you don't watch your lyrics, you're a lightweight. The truth is out here, but it's hiding. So I make all of this music and they like it. All your blowing smoke like it was cannabis. Why are we ignoring what the problem is? This year let's come together, put a stop to this. Long live the revolution. God with us, God with us, God with us, God with us, God with us.
When they ask me how I did it, I say God taught me. When they ask me how I'm winning, I say God taught me. When they ask me why I'm different, I say God taught me. This my time to get it. God taught me. When they ask me how I did it, I say God taught me. When they ask me how I'm winning, I say God taught me. When they ask me why I'm different, I say God taught me. This my time to get it. God taught me. When they ask me how I did it, I say God taught me. When they ask me how I'm winning, I say God taught me. When they ask me why I'm different, God taught me. This my time to get it. God taught me.
Now the bass line starts feeling good. I need some support from the drummer, y'all. It's starting to feel funky up in here. Y'all feel it, Louisiana? But you got to bring in that funky guitar. What you got, boy? Woo! It's starting to smell funky up in here, Louisiana. But we need them girls. Background sing. But what is funk without the horn? Now that we all getting funkified together, I want everybody stepping left to right. Come on, I want the brown people moving, the white people moving, the Baptists, the Pentecostals, the black folk. Come on, I want all my Catholics. Yeah, yo, stick it in red, we got the cred. No need to say what's already been said. No need to please when we got the proof. We be on our knees when we raise the roof. Cause we got the one pot mix of flavor. We got the funky Jesus blazer. No equal, diverse people. Come get it now, won't be a sequel. None of that mumbo jumbo. Give me that hip rock funk soul. Give me that funky Jesus music. Give me that soulful gumbo. Give me that funky. That funky Jesus music. Give me that hip, that rock, that funky soul. Give me that juicy flow. Give me that funky. That funky Jesus music. Give me that hip, that rock, that funky soul. And watch this party roll. Let's go. Let's go. Louisiana, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Street boy. Yo, look at these freaks, they fashion loud. Making that highness, moving that crowd. Bumping that jump with the life injection. Sweet to the ears like the candy section. Ears to the eyes, feel so fly. Passion, it just won't subside. We got this when it's ball. So check it out, gonna watch them fall.
None of that mumbo jumbo. Give me that hip rock funky soul. Give me that funky Jesus music. Give me that
Soulful gumbo, give me that funky. That funky Jesus music. Give me that hip, that rock, that funky soul. Give me that juicy flow. Give me that funky. That funky Jesus music. Give me that hip, that rock, that funky soul. And watch this party grow. Say oh la oh say hola, hola, yeah. And watch this party go. Let's go, let's go. That funky Jesus music, that funky Jesus music.
Put your hands in the air for Cardi.
Long live the champion.
Arriba,
Campeón. Yeah, Southside, Southside.
arriba, campeón.
Oh yeah.
Luchando, campeón.
Singing my song.
Arriba, campeón. Arriba, campeón. Long live the
I
champ.
do it for the culture, I take it global. I've been moreno, papi loco since 88. I like dance on the low, low, it's in my torso. I got fire like some culture, see it in my ojos. Okay, okay, we don't walk away in my go day, no way am I gon' leave. Oh no, not today, do not behave when blood is on the league. Weep before you speak, though. Think before you eat. How you love a country food more than its people? Cause I think you hide behind your politics. Yeah. You do not want answers, you want arguments. Okay, yes, I love the kingdom more than I love my nation. Yeah, yes, I love my neighbor more than I love his papers. Okay, okay, stop, still alive. We thrive, we don't, do not die. Coming live from the Citadel, I was made alive in the nigga fell when Washington fell, still hit a Denzel. Love, till we live well, we gon' play the role real well.
Levanta tu cabeza y sigue caminando. La esperanza sigue viva
Long live the champion.
y hay que seguir luchando.
Arriba,
Campeón. One time for the Southside.
arriba, campeón.
Oh yeah.
Luchando, campeón.
Singing my song.
Arriba, campeón. Arriba, campeón.
ENC se unió con el KB, buscando mi sortija como KD. Un saludo a los boricuas en el Navy. Representaron latinos, hizo KB. Nos hicimos bajo el sol, baños de sudor. Laboramos todos los días, aunque hubo dolor. Lo negativo no nos mata, nos hace mejor. Nuestra fuerza no depende del alrededor. Oh, Cuba, Chile, Nicaragua, Argentina y Bolivia. Latinos somos ya familia, unidos como nos dice la Biblia. Quiero que la gente me suba las manos bien altas para el techo. Y si tú eres latino y no te avergüenzas, pues date 2 puños bien duros para el pecho.
And I met the bravest, what they still sing when they living through the anguish. Never be famous when you got a smile for your kids when you know that they in danger. You feel anger, Puerto Rico, many bodies never claimed it. And when you look into your neighbor and you get hatred, but they be back on vacation. But the people still make it, they will never break it. Cause we're dealing on with the grace here, being made here. It's been a couple days here, see the courageous people that you don't want to migrate here. I really want to have the gospel for the nations. Cause I see sheep when you say your heart's full, homie, I see eat. When I see weak, I pray to God, I see me. Campeón. One time for the Southside.
Arriba, campeón.
Oh yeah.
Luchando, campeón.
Singing my song.
Arriba, campeón. Arriba, campeón. Arriba, campeón.
One time for the Southside.
Arriba, campeón.
Oh yeah.
Luchando, campeón.
Singing my song.
Arriba, campeón. Arriba, campeón.
All in the champions. We wanna live, let the light in. I know that you're tired, mommy, you're a fighter. Yeah, we just wanna live, I cannot forget. As long as I live, I'll be standing right here. We just wanna live, let the light in. Oh, he's alive, you were not forgotten. Yeah, we just wanna live, let the light in. Trouble won't last, but the word will, baby, we just gotta live. Our God's here, keep your head high, hold on to the promise. Baby, for the kids, show what love is. Come on, we can the broken. Our God is, oh, we just wanna live. Let it rock on it. Hey. Come on, we can the broken. Yeah. Wanna live.
Living for me, talking for you. Too much for me, nothing for you. Fooling myself, but not fooling you. Never gonna make it if I push you away. Rising up from deep inside of me. Seeing there's a better side of me. Calling out for you is all I need.
Unqualified and a hypocrite, full of scars I ain't dealing with. I'm writing songs for the world to sing, but I'm still the one who's not listening. And there's something about this love, ayy. Didn't know when I said that God had sent me, he really would. Cause I'm really not that good, but I heard everybody rather pretend. Is anybody really happy? Let me see them. Only wanna talk to God on the weekend. When you get a little older, then you need him. But you know that you feel like something's missing. And things don't make a difference. We need a savior, not religion. So God sent his son to get us. It's crazy, crazy.
It's the life that I miss. Yeah. How did I get too busy for you? Times I make it too complex. Yeah. Sometimes I need to talk to God.
Right now,
Right now,
right now,
right now. Sometimes I need to talk to God. Yeah.
right now,
Right now, right now,
right now. Sometimes I need to. Yeah, woke up this morning. Did a little self-help, looking into therapy. Hit a podcast and I watch me some Gary Vee. Yeah, I work hard, I don't need no charity. No, tryna stay on track. Thought life on Mortal Kombat. Woosah, deep breath, calm app. Either that or what's on tap. Got a whole lot on my shoulders, yeah. Tryna find someone to hold it, yeah. Whiteboard, gotta stay focused, Namaste with the yoga, After all my hard work, all my planning, all my thoughts, how I still feel lost. Well, sometimes I need to talk to God.
sometimes I need to talk to God.
Right now, sometimes I need to talk to God. Living for me, talking for you. Too much for me, nothing for you. Fooling myself, but not fooling you. Never gonna make it if I push you away. Rising up from deep inside of me. Seeing there's a better side of me. Calling out for you is all I need.
Yeah, sometimes I need to talk to God.
Right now,
Right now,
right now.
sometimes I need to talk to God.
Right now, sometimes I need to talk to God.
Right now, sometimes I need to talk to God. Right now, sometimes I need to talk to God. Yeah.
Caught in a net. I'm helpless, but I'm loving it. And my mind can't cross this fence. Your love is something I don't get. Love is like barbed wire. I heard if I get much higher, I won't get over it. I won't get over it. Love is like barbed wire. I heard if I get much higher, I won't get over it. I'm caught by barbed wire. I'm caught by barbed wire.
Hey, good. Well, it's 11 when we're recording this or broadcasting it. You may watch this later, but good morning. It's Tuesday morning. Glad you joined us. We are taking comments on Facebook. We have a different phone number today. If you want to call, and it's 541-226-8255. 8505. That's 541-226-8505. You're welcome to call in. The main topic today is the only topic that we're talking about, I think, in Southern Oregon, probably the West Coast. And it's the fires and our response and how things went. So if you don't know, if you're new to all this, we had some serious fires that swept into Talent and Phoenix and then into the southern part of Medford. And that started happening on Tuesday with these winds and stuff. So that evening, we began to receive is it possible to use our facility to house evacuees? Because Medford, we're not sure what's happening with Medford, so they need to get away from Medford. And we, of course, said, oh, totally, what can we do? So Sean Logue and Chris Martinez began to head that up. And we immediately had people come here and stay the night on Tuesday night. We were able to place some of the families with families that you guys said, hey, put them in my home, no problem. So we began to place some families into homes that night. And the next morning, Wednesday morning, it was, okay, what do we do? And we began to notice right away, well, we're gonna need some towels, and we're gonna need some toothbrushes, and we're gonna need clothes, and we're gonna need beds, and we're gonna need sleeping bags. And we put that kind of out there, and it was, I said it on Sunday, it was unreal. I was here from about 10:30 on Wednesday until maybe about 9:30 at night, and it was just nonstop, unloading car after car after car after car, where finally we had to say, time out, we got enough. We've got toothbrushes that could keep the next generation of Southern Oregon in clean teeth, and tons of lotion and shampoo and bed mats, and it was unbelievable. It was so fun. And what was most interesting to me is I would try to thank each person as they came up. Thank you so much. No, thank you for the opportunity. And that was like a constant. We are so glad to be able to do that. And a couple of weeks ago, I shared about there are moments where you are really glad to be a Grants Passonian. There was one a month ago with the fair and it being canceled, and then the 4-H program, what are going to happen with these kids? And kids were told, you're not going to get any money for your animals this year. It's just the way it is. But that was reversed. We had very generous people. It was the most generous 4-H thing in the history of Josephine County. Men and women decided we're not going to have kids disappointed. So that just, thank you. And this was another one of those moments where you see people and God moves on their hearts, and it's a pleasure to watch and to see incredible things happen. So from there, Kerry became, we called him Incident Commander. So he began to just run with things. So tell us kind of what it did from there.
Yeah, so I came in and tapped Sean and Chris out the next morning. The night before, I was kind of watching the fires and stuff and the wind, and they said they had it overnight. I came in and sent them home. And then that's when all the action took off, like you just said. I packed a bag, toothbrush, deodorant, clothes, sleeping bag. I said, I have a feeling I might be there for a while. So I started a 24-hour shift right then. They had just finished a 24-hour shift. And from Wednesday to Saturday, it was about 100 miles an hour, just especially Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it was really crescendoed. But like you said, we had so many people from the community. Edgewater, the body stepped up, but then also just people from Grants Pass, people that don't go to our church, people that go to other churches. The Ericksons connected with all the other dentists. They said, do you want toothbrushes and toothpaste? And I said, yeah, sure, I guess. Their mind is thinking these people are going to need to brush their teeth. And for me, I was thinking about, all the other logistics. And for the record, I actually talked with somebody. I just kind of went around and did some interviews. And one of the first things they said was, it was so nice to be able to brush my teeth. Just like being in my car for that long, driving around, trying to find a place. I got here, you guys, late at night, you let me into the bathrooms, you let me brush my teeth. Like, I didn't think of that, because I wasn't in that.
They felt human again.
It made them feel human. Yeah, absolutely. So that was kind of how things, we quickly started to realize the needs that we had and the plan that we had to implement Early Wednesday, people are coming to me. What can I do? What can I do? Esther and her husband, Eston, came to me mid-morning, 10 or so. I don't even remember what time now. It just all was a blur. But they said, we can help you get organized. So you tell us, how we can help, what we can do. We're just a phone call away. So as I came back into the office, checked back in with a few people, I said, I think I know how they can help. We need to get registration. We need to get volunteers. We need to get a database. We need to get our resources organized. And then I called them, and they have been amazing. I think Esther was here 14 hours yesterday, and she has really been the hands and feet, and just anytime we have an idea, or hey, we need to do this, or there's this need, she says, okay, I'm on it. I've got it taken care of. So we just so appreciate you. But from your perspective, what have you witnessed?
I just want to say what enabled us to do that is almost immediately we started getting calls from all sorts of people saying, not only do I want to give and donate supplies or money, I want to be physically available to help. So we wound up with a roster of almost a couple hundred people who have signed up to volunteer, some of whom we haven't even gotten to call yet because we've had a packed schedule of volunteers cleaning around the clock, serving meals, and helping us situate beds and getting people oriented, getting people checked in. So I was just the person to coordinate that, but none of that would have been possible without all those volunteers. So that first night, I would say we probably housed about 80 people almost immediately. And over the course of the last 6 nights, a total of maybe a little over 150 people have stayed here overnight. But that doesn't include a lot of other people who have also passed through for meals, showers, bathrooms, just some conversation, or to pick up supplies. Moms looking for children's clothes, families looking for jackets when the weather got cold. We were open and available for that. So honestly, it's hard to gauge actually how many people came through over the last few days. I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a lot more than 150. I think I mentioned volunteers already.
Yeah.
So I would say also we were serving 3 meals a day for the last several days. So rough count, we probably have served about 550 meals or so.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, including people who came through just for those meals. So lots of people coming through, just people who needed things, people who were here to help. So getting everybody situated and making sure everybody had what they needed. It was just really heartwarming to see the community come together. The response I have seen and the willingness of everybody from Edgewater staff to just lay volunteers. People who said, I don't know what I can do, but sign me up and I will show up, and you showed up. And that's just really amazing.
Amen. So cool.
One of the coolest parts is seeing the fingerprint of God on stuff. And I went back in my mind a couple of years where we had a discussion about showers in the new building because they've got to be ADA compatible. Where do you put them? And it seemed like the only place to put them was down in what we call the pit, the second
middle school room.
Yeah, the bottom floor. But in order to put it there, you actually have to pump it up and get it out because there's no drain down there. So you just start looking at the price tag of this ADA and all this, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Do we really need showers?
Yeah.
And it went back and forth, and okay, sure, put showers in. It's going to cost, okay. Well, how huge has it been for people to be able to take showers?
Yeah.
Like that was one of the biggest things. Was oh my goodness, I was able to get cleaned up. I've been sweating. It was when they got here, it was 100 degrees.
Yeah.
It's cooled down since then. So there's all those little wow, God, you've been watching and tweaking things for years. The fact that we have this building, a couple years ago, this would not have even been possible.
Right.
And it's okay, you talk to the couples, and there was one couple, Doug and Sandy. I don't know if you met them. Yeah. They're awesome.
Yeah.
And they said, we can't believe the kids. They call them kids, but it's our teens and our college kind of age. They're so nice to us.
Yes.
We didn't know kids were nice anymore. These kids are so nice. They'll listen to us. They help us. they're interested in us. Like, wow, that's like amazing.
There was a young mom. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
There
it's
was a
just
young mom
cool.
visiting. Yeah, she had kids, and the teenagers were engaging them. I think one of your daughters with some of her friends, just sitting, helping, engaging. And as I was walking by, she said, she has young kids. She said, "I want my kids to grow up like you guys."
Wow.
Wow.
I was just like,
That's the
man,
best
you know, they're
compliment.
Praise the Lord.
unchurched, and she's like, "This is what I want."
Yeah.
You know. So it was phenomenal.
Speaking of teenage volunteers, we've had high schoolers helping out with the check-in desk. And they're so devoted to showing up first thing in the morning and being here until night. They're doing schoolwork at the check-in desk on their little laptops, listening on their Zoom calls, and then checking people in. I just didn't know that was even possible, but
Yeah.
they made
Amazing.
it work.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing the heart of especially our young kids wanting mission and
Yeah.
wanting to serve and wanting to give. I'll never forget that part.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like really, really cool. Like kids look forward to that. We think they want the big party and nothing wrong with that. Nothing going to the lake and having a fun time and pulling kids around on a tube,
Yeah.
right? Celebration. But also, our kids want mission.
Totally.
Yes.
They want purpose,
Yeah.
and they know God has created them for good works, and they want
Absolutely.
to be involved in those things.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, parents, you've done a phenomenal job, and I'm proud to be able to watch and see what the kids did here.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm thankful for your leadership, the leadership as a whole at Edgewater. I shared with our staff that, and some of our volunteers, for those of you guys that don't know the culture that we have here, we couldn't have done this if our leadership wasn't like, you know, I trust you, Carrie, and Sean, and Chris, and Jordan, and Esther, to just be the hands and feet of God and open the doors at midnight. I don't care. Come on in. You know, to have that kind of culture that really just wants to bless people and live out the gospel is something that I'm extremely thankful. And I'm also extremely thankful for not only the community, but the body of Edgewater, where we can say, we're closing the doors on Sunday to shelter people, and we're not worried about the body's response to that. You know, the fact that everybody was just able to live stream, and we know that we'll get back to normal pretty soon, but we're confident that we have a church body that says, yeah, that's probably more important than me coming in this weekend. I'll sit and watch it at home and then join you guys when you open back up. You know, I think I really appreciate the fact that we can do that confidently and know
Yeah.
that our church isn't going to
Absolutely.
miss a beat.
Yeah.
And to be part of a church community where we actually had to start saying we can't take any more volunteers. I've never had that happen in my years of coordinating anything. Is the overwhelming response was just amazing. I just saw that on Facebook. We had a comment from Shannon Cronin. She said, "We are seeing the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living." And Matt also mentioned the fingerprint of God. One quick testimony I just wanted to share was about 3 days ago, we were having a briefing at 8:30 in the morning, which we've been having daily with the staff. And the issue of laundry came up, which at this point, we do have I think one laundry machine.
Yeah.
But we have been washing linens around the clock, and our facilities guys have been working hard at that. But people were starting to ask us about whether they could do their personal laundry. And so we brought that up, and we realized we might not have the capacity for that. So we tabled that discussion, but I'm not even joking. Within 20 minutes of having that meeting, somebody called from a laundromat. They had no idea we needed this. And they said, "We are coming to drop off vouchers for you so that people can come and do laundry at our laundromat down the street."
That's amazing.
So all that to say, God has been watching us. God has been with us, providing every step of the way, from supplies to people to just the hearts that we needed to be here. And for me, it was such a tangible reminder. We did not tell anybody outside of that room we needed laundry.
Yes. Yeah.
And he provided.
Yeah.
So true.
So out of that came, there's a couple that showed up, and they go to the church here. And they're at a laundromat because their washer just broke. And so they're there like doing their laundry, and they hear this young guy's like, "Hey, do you know about that Edgewater church?" To the person working the counter. And she's like, "No." So this lady's like, "I do. I know all about I go to Edgewater." And he just said, "They're the most, I've been staying up there, and they're just such an," and this lady's like, "Oh, really? Wow, that's cool. I didn't even know that."
That's so
And there's
cool.
this story about the guy flying through. He's a business owner. He's flying through Seattle. I think
Yeah.
it was
Right.
Thursday or Wednesday night. And sits down and overhears a conversation in a Seattle airport about the fires and about this church called Edgewater that's allowing evacuees to stay in their sanctuary.
He said, I can't believe they've had so many donations within the first 48 hours. They had to stop taking them.
Yeah.
A Seattle airport.
A Seattle airport, like, it's just amazing. Yeah.
We had people show up we had an evacuee from Indiana originally. He was staying in the area. Saipan, Madera down near Fresno, Shady Cove, Talent, Happy Camp, Takilma,
O'Brien, Selma,
one person said, I'm like, how did you find out? You know, because it was early on. They said, I went to a Medford hospital, and the first place they said to go to was Edgewater.
That's
so I don't even know.
Crazy.
I don't know the connection there, but I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And just so you know, and you just said this, but we really did get people from sort of all direction. People we did not expect. One lady showed up with her little basset hound. Her name was Donna, and she had been separated from her husband. They both lived down in Happy Camp. And when the fires started, her husband jumped out to help with the fires, and she evacuated alone with the dog. So she wound up here for about 5 nights, keeping in touch with her husband, but not knowing when she'll be able to see him because the roads have been blocked since then. So after 5 days here, she's been, walking her dog around, saying hello to people and sharing meals with us. Yesterday, her husband was finally able to find a way around all the roadblocks and fires. He drove 150 miles to finally reunite with her, and it was so heartwarming just to see them reunite and go back together as a family to a safe place.
That is so cool. That's not an easy road to travel through those mountains.
Yeah.
One thing that was cool was seeing the evacuees kind of start to form relationships and take care of each other. And they're leaving and they're giving hugs and they're exchanging numbers, and checking on each other and stuff. And that was a really cool thing to see.
Yeah.
In fact, I think there was talk between them about having a 1-year reunion and
Exactly.
coming back to see us here to let us know how they're doing in a year.
Yeah.
That's a really neat idea.
Looking forward, today at noon is like end of this as a evacuee center.
Yes.
But we do have things that are going to echo out into the future, and one of them are some funds, right?
Yes. So as you know, we have been taking financial donations, both online and in person here at the church. So I think you guys need to know, in the matter of 7 days, we have raised over $40,000 as a community, and the donations are still coming in. Again, I've never seen something like this before, just the overwhelming response. And now our job is to make sure that everything that was so carefully donated to us, funds, yes, and also all the supplies are managed well.
Yes.
So our goal is to come up with a plan as a team to make sure those funds are dispersed in a timely manner and also strategically, so that we have a high impact for those who are going to have needs long after this week or next week is over.
That's awesome. So you did the cover fund as well.
Yeah.
So you have a template, kind of, right?
Kind of, yes.
You got a little bit of experience, and now you're...
Yeah, so we'll just adapt to this new need and
Yeah.
kind of wait and see what those are going to be and apply some of those fundamental principles.
Terry, you talked with some folks.
Yeah. I've talked with some government leaders who have come by and checked on us at different times. They've said, in regards to like finances and sheltering and helping with donations and stuff, they said, to be completely honest, you guys are doing great on your own. We're here to help if you need, but they said you guys are so efficient, we would be probably better to just let you guys do your own thing. With the board overseeing those funds, I am confident that we're going to be able to really make an impact for people
Absolutely.
because of what you guys were able to do. So, Mary Tucker's asking a question about helping kind of next steps, and we definitely are going to have a lot of upcoming opportunities. A few years ago, I was a part of a team with like the Dietz family. I took my son, the Powers family. A few of us went down to Houston, and we helped with Hurricane Katrina cleanup. And it was through Samaritan's Purse, and it's a really well-run organization. You basically pay for getting there, and then meals, you stayed at church, and all of that stuff. And so I know Jordan was a part of a team too that went down to Reading and helped with the cleanup there a couple of years ago. So we've got some contacts and a little bit of a relationship. And so I reached out to them, and their representative came out here. Matt and I met with him, I think it was on Saturday, and he flew in from Atlanta, checked out the area, and we are going to be talking with him. He's still trying to get kind of an assessment for what really is needed and what the timeline looks like. And so we're going to have an opportunity to partner with them, probably day trips over there, you know, teens, young adults, families, check in at Edgewater early in the morning, drive over for the day, help with the cleanup. Sometimes they do rebuilding efforts. And Matt will mention a little bit about that here in a second, but definitely a lot of opportunities coming up. They'll look a little bit different than what we've just been doing, but great mission.
Yeah.
Great mission for everybody.
Yeah.
Before you go into that part, I did want to mention, you mentioned that we are closing out evacuation operations this afternoon. So for those of you who are curious as to where things are now, we went from 80 or so people staying overnight that first night to last night. The numbers went steadily down, which is a good thing. I think it means people were able to find a safe place to go home to or go stay with. So we had maybe about a dozen or so people left that as of this morning, and our plan was not just to say we're closed, goodbye, but to make sure we help them as much as possible and also have them a place prepared to go to. So we've been working with each and every one of them to find them a place to go, make accommodations for things like pets, and also making sure they are supported for anything like signing up for DHS benefits, maybe making home insurance claims or having any medical needs. We've been screening for those. So I just wanted you to know that as a community, we are really trying to help them transition well out of this phase into more of the long-term recovery period. And that's where we are today.
Something that was really important to us. We don't. It's not just now, but I even had a chance to call somebody yesterday who left a few days ago, and they just appreciate us checking on them, you know. And we've got a church body that wants to do that and is concerned about the long-term impact as well.
So home bridging, we've been doing some getting hardworking families that are stuck in rent cycles into homes. That's what home bridging is. Been able to do that. We're on house number 4, but maybe home bridging with what it knows can be helpful over in rebuilding some homes. So we're kind of opening that door. Samaritan's Purse, though, we talked with them about that, and they say, oh, we come in and we build 25 homes and we give the keys to families. They're free. I'm like, what? He goes, that's, if we're gonna do it, that would be our goal. That we just hand that family those keys. So that would mean there's volunteer opportunities and building opportunities and all that involved in that as well, so that they can present those homes for free. So those are cool things. So going forward, if you had a family in your house, first of all, thank you. What a brilliant expression. I mean, that's hospitality at its best. You now have a connection. God's put you in connection with that. And I know that you're going to follow up and ask and do everything that we're going to try to do for those that were connected with us as well. So that's what it is now. It's, God, you've made some cool things happen. How do we cultivate that, and how do we water that, and how do we see good fruit come from that? And we'll keep praying about how we're supposed to do that, and you guys as well. And we'll keep you informed on how you can join with us.
Can you share real quick the Hidden Valley High School girls soccer team story?
With talent?
Yes.
Yeah, or Phoenix, excuse me.
That was really cool.
Yeah, so the Phoenix, what the conference that Hidden Valley is in, Phoenix is one of the schools that we regularly would play every year, twice, at their place, at our place. And 9 of the girls on that team lost their home. So that's pretty devastating, because there's 12 players, essentially, 12 starters on a team. So that's a devastating loss. And so that news got to our families, and so there's all these efforts now getting close together, going over, visiting them, helping them, loving them, blessing them, putting a fund together to financially bless them as well. So just sometimes you don't realize, like, oh yeah, it's sports. Well, there's a lot God can do with sports, you know, and sometimes I can make fun of football or soccer or whatever, but I think in every field, if you bring Jesus with you, he'll use you. He'll use you in that field. It doesn't matter what field it is, soccer field, medical field, construction field, home bridging, it doesn't matter.
Amen.
I don't think God, and I've said this before, cares what you do. It's, can he use you when you're there? That's the big question.
Amen.
And, that's what happens.
Amen.
So, yeah.
It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So back to normal.
Back to normal services.
Tomorrow.
This Wednesday night, we'll have our normal service. Sunday will be normal as we can be.
Yeah.
And we're thankful. We're thankful that we got the privilege of using this facility the way that it was used.
Stay on mission.
Yep.
Yeah.
God bless you guys. All right. Perfect. Thank you, Esther.
I say, wow, must not know my God. Holy water dripping, 116, and boy, I'm with the mob. Yeah. Holy water, dip me in it, drench me in it, I'm dripping. They told me the system would give me. I can't lie, the devil to tell me. But now I'm covered and I'm clean. I'm still resisting all the schemes. You see me invest in my team. You kill the dreamer, not the dream. All around the world, London to Dubai. Yes, I fly, let them wonder why. I just trust the guy, close my eyes. I could do this blind, I don't walk by sight. Things just work out for me, I don't do it well, I do it right.
I'm tripping holy water, I got that holy water. I'm tripping holy water, I got that holy water. Do the Philippe protect me, if it's dripping holy water. If she with me, respect it, she dripping holy water. Holy water, I got that holy water. I'm tripping holy water, I got that holy water. Do the Philippe protect me, if it's dripping holy water. If she with me, respect it, she dripping holy water.
I do anything for the money, let the money drive me crazy. I'ma try, hit a link just to pull up in the latest. In the streets, in the club, man, I guess that's how they made me. Every night, getting lit, I like to party like the 80s. For them blue strips, doing the most. For them blue strips, doing the most. Selling prescription pills, doing the most. For them blue strips, doing the most. I do anything for the money, let the money drive me crazy. I'ma try, hit a link just to pull up in the latest. In the streets, in the club, man, I guess that's how they made me. Every night, getting lit, I like to party like the 80s. Hey, by the pound, yeah, cut it up, bust it down, then go hit the mound, yeah. Pitch it, get it out the ground, get it up out of the mud. Don't come to me for the dubs. I got them quarters in half. Sell the whole thing if I have. Blue strip, blue strip, blue strip. Watch me with this new whip. Ain't my life too foolish. Grandma say don't do this, but I got a new chick, and lil' mama too thick, and she like the red bottom, addicted to blue strips. I know I'm living too fast. I know I'm blowing this cash.